working in progress.
Okay, can you put it on, hey, Tom, can you put it on automatic?
Yeah.
What's right here?
Good morning, Rotarians. My name is Rich Warfield, the acting service partner. And today we have a special guest from Scottsdale, Arizona. We're all the way from Scottsdale. I think he left his gloves behind. He's going to come back. Jim Ahern, the prayer.
Thank you, Jack. I told Jack every week I feel guilty, but somehow I just wake up on my own at 5. I had an invitation, but Tom Coleman had a great idea. Several of us went to Dan Rich's service, and it was really special. Well done, as you can imagine, with Dan and his family. But Tom got a copy of an excerpt from words that Dan Rich wrote for the book, and they were to his grandchildren. And so I think it'd be great to read it and hear what he had to say. I want you to wonder why the moon looks so great for Christ's desk. Why pink contrails across the blue morning sky are so straight, they know where they're going, while all of us all over about 5 years. I want to wonder if it is all a big joke. Is God a sense anymore? I wonder if mosquitoes, poison ivy, salmonella are all here for a good purpose. I wonder if we're having fun with our sense. Or did God just head them off alone on the 7th day? Was this beauty meant for us? I want you to wonder why we are so lucky. I want you to wonder, did our ancestors know this same joy? I want you to wonder what else we came with. It was your luck. It comes with the brains for learning, curiosity, creativity, with the incentive to innovate. I want you to wonder why we occasionally get sorry for ourselves when we are having to give so much. I want you to wonder the marvel of sharing joy is obvious, sharing trust is scary. The trust in the eyes of your children or your grandparents is easy to accept. I want you to wonder why the trust we share with family does not spread to others. I wonder why we seem to start with the idea of others. Aren't we all in this together? Remember, right? This is grandchildren. I want you to wonder why we worry so much. Doesn't fear failure waste a lot of time that we spend enjoying our bad lives good luck? I want you to wonder why we couldn't wake up grateful each day and thereby ready to appreciate our good luck, whether God given or not. I want you to wonder where the rush of sheer joy that colonies Dakota of a great symphony comes from, or why the bump pressure at the top of the mountain is so satisfying. Why the sound of acid needs rustling with the spring breeze is rival with the sound of the big rather than or rocky. Pretty special work written by the Rotary. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. And of course, all the way from Lower Lakes, a mile, leading back to the 4-way test and pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty, justice for all.
And in the 4-way test of things we say it true. First,
Is it the truth?
Second,
Is it fair to all concerned?
Third,
Will build goodwill and better friendships?
and fourth,
Will be beneficial to all concerned.
Two small things before that comes up. Just want to let you know that Ron's had a great time where he's at. And you will not have to see me much longer as we back on March 16th, take over this position. So I'm sure it's fun. Second thing, that's football team. I've never met many people. They're good things about them. You got all the big guys next to you, protect you. Your Hudson Sports had an exceptional season. You did games that we lost or even the fourth quarter on the last play, I'll bring up those memories. But I draw a comparison to my Minnesota Vikings, ended up 8-9, the 7-9 games they lost on the last play of the game or in the fourth quarter. So that's my comparison to Hudson scores. And now, here's our president, Matt.
Ready how many Super Bowls?
Pretty much.
So, because it is a football theme today, I went deep into the records of Google to find the best football quote I can find today to open our meeting. I may be dumb, but I'm not stupid. Terry Bradshaw. So I got a quoting and a dedicated on the seal. There we go. All right. But on a serious note, I'd like to take a moment of silence right now to be in remembrance of our club past president, Ben Rich, and Pastor Rotary. So if we all take a moment of silence right now in honor of Ben Rich. Thank you, everybody. So 2 weeks ago, Emma and Casey were here, and I think it was Emma who told all of us that she and her mom like to bake banana bread. So we had very quickly glommed onto that, and that is now our service project for the month of March. So starting, we were going to hand it up there this week, but in quintessential high school mode, there was only a way you can order the bread is with a QR code, and the Google group is locked in. You have to have permission to enter. So we'll get permission to enter by next week. But those of you that would like to order a loaf of the banana bread, they're each $6, and all the proceeds from the banana bread sale go to supporting the Afghan refugees and the purchasing of the man that they need for that area. So all of us can certainly find at least room for one loaf of banana bread at home. So starting next week, you can order those. They'll be running in on the 16th, and we'll also be having extra loads. So if you get to order, you can certainly find one and bring it forward on the 16th. We will not be having a club meeting on March 30th. Everybody's got to say it, okay. So, but instead, we're going to have another Fights for Polio event that night. So at Top 3 Brewing, 5 to 6:30, join all your fellow Rotarians and have a beer and maybe an entree. $1 from every beer and $1 from every entree goes to polio, our polio plus eradication program. So we're also doing some community world service that day. It's not very often that when we do a beer, you can be considered doing a world service, but that is an opportunity you now have on March 30th. So you can do it. Good. All right. So look forward to seeing all of you on March 30th at Top Tree Brewing from 5 to 6:30. There will be a club board meeting next week after our club meeting. And now I'd like to call up Kelly to give us a report on the scope gap.
Can we go to the thing? Yeah.
Yeah, hang on.
You know where to go?
Well, not really, but I have to share it. I have to do a couple more things. Hang on here.
Morning.
Hang on. So I need to share it. Hang on one second.
Has anybody ever been to the webpage of Quality Foundation?
Okay.
So my shout out today is primarily to
Tom.
who I think keeps this thing, correct me if I'm wrong, keeps this website updated and does a fantastic job. I mean, I'll be honest with you. This is not an area of expertise for me. I know I come here, I click on things, I did things.
Zoom
but,
out.
He makes it all happen. Long and short of it is, all right. Oh, you're trying to get me on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. And then if you could cut it down a little bit. Here we go. So everyone was talking when relative to the Scout project, you can come right to this website, and it directs you kind of tell you where we're at. I am pleased to tell you, however, that this number, as of last night, has changed. And we're now above the 50%, so we're about $109,000. Congratulations, to everybody who's close. This is going on phenomenally well. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 areas that we segregated this campaign into. One is called Friends of Scouting. That's essentially most of us and any other individuals that want to donate to the cabin. Then there's the scouting campaign. These are individuals that at some point in their life went through the scouting process and have some attachment to the cabin. Then the corporate and government and foundations. So all of those are now starting to take off in good stead. But we will likely at this campaign, hopefully in June of this year, 2022. And to give you sort of an idea of where we're going forward, the second half of this year is when we collect pledges and enter into a contract with a contractor to actually do the project. Project is slated to be done in 2023. We're hoping for it to be done when the scouts are not necessarily using the cabin, but we're not sure whether we'll have control over that or not. Those would be, scouts are using it as we speak. And then hopefully by August of 2023, we would have dedication of the refurbished cabin. And what we're talking about in this cabin is completely dismantling it and then reconstructing it from the ground up. So, I'm sorry? Lincoln Laws, exactly. So thank you for having me on here. That's what we're going to be doing. So just want to keep you updated. Each month we'll kind of keep you updated as to where we're at in the process. And if there's any questions, we'd be more happy to answer.
So Kelly, we have to come out with the bricks up there. And I think if someone simply orders, if I did my math right, 250 of the large size bricks, we've got this covered.
You bet. Your math is very good. Any questions that anybody has? Oh, Jay. Pledge cards. So we have a number of pledge cards. The only way we account for money taken in is either a pledge card or cash. So if you need pledge cards, let us know. I will continue to bring them, and if you will do is leave them out for when we check in, so that they're always available. I'll leave some today, so that we have some. And anybody that wants to pick them up, we have neighbors that just have one, whatever you need. You can get a hold of me or anyone else on the committee, or you can pick those pledge cards up when we check in. Thanks, Jay. That's it. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. That's great that our campaign for the scout cabin is now over 50%. So we're at the crest of the hill, and we just have to ride the hill down the rest of the way. Catherine, would you like to come and introduce Scout Shop?
Thank you. Good morning, Rotarians. It is my privilege and honor to introduce Jeff Gough. He's born and raised in Hudson and went to school K-12 at Hudson City Schools. You're not football. He played football at Hudson and became coach for Farm Country Chief when he was 19 years old. He is now entering his 7th year as head football coach at Hudson and his 16th year of coaching overall. He also coached softball 5-year season and track and field and run. Currently, Jeff works for the Hudson School District in the tech firm. I had to use him a few times when I was still working at. He lives in Hudson and with his wife Devin, who also attended Hudson schools. This is the part of it fascinating. He has 4 beautiful daughters, 5 years old, 3, 2, and 5 months old. Please join me in a warm rosary welcome, Jeff Gough.
Just let me know when you want me to put it up.
All right. Thank you so much for having me. Ed and Sophie reached out a couple months ago and asked if we wanted to do this. I love getting out and spreading the word about our program. And so, yeah, thank you, Catherine, for the introduction. It is crazy during football season, but it's even crazy on the day-to-day for So I did prepare a presentation. If you guys have questions at any point in time, just let me know that I have two players here with us that I'll bring up at the end. But if you want to start with the first slide, that very title slide at the top.
There we go.
All right, so our program, I put this picture in here. It was probably, it was moments after, probably one of the most incredible endings that I've ever been a part of. That I've seen, that I've witnessed. We're at, usually it was like 98 degrees for the second game of the season. We were going back and forth with them, and then it was tied with 7 seconds left. I believe we're on like the 35-yard line, 65 yards to score, and everybody was probably thinking, let's take a knee and let's go to overtime. We talked about it in the timeout and said, let's go ahead and give our kids a shot. And it ended up being a walk-off Hail Mary 65-yard touchdown. They stormed the field and they all dog out on top of each other. And then, and this kind of really, this picture just with guys embracing, singing with the band after the game. It's one of those things that these guys, regardless of how we do throughout the rest of the season, regardless of what they do throughout life, they're going to talk about it like forever. So I love to put that on there. All right, the next slide. So, I didn't really know where to go with this presentation. I just figured let's start from the beginning. This is kind of what we tell our parents and our kids. What are the goals of our program? Number one is to provide the best experience possible. That experience is different for every single kid. Some kids are out there every single play, and they're getting interviewed after the game, and there's videos of them, and they're going on to play college football. Some kids might get one play the entire season. So our staff tries to, that is our goal. We're trying to build a relationship with every single kid and get the most out of football so they have the best experience possible. There's a couple of points there, having fun playing football, make lasting, lifelong relationships, laugh, cry, sweat, feel, persevere. We try to, hit the gamut and really call out emotions. That's what makes football so amazing. In any given play, guys are having the time of their life, and the very next play, oh my gosh, the world is falling. So we really try to identify those moments. The lasting, lifelong relationships. So my buddy who I play football with is going to Qatar in the Middle East, being stationed there for 6 months. He's a Jag lawyer. And so we went out to DC to visit with him before he left. And at the end of the night, we did a tour, we saw all the monuments, and we went to all these different amazing places. But there we are. I'm sitting with 4 other football guys. One is a operations plant manager down in Cincinnati. One is trying to begin his residency at Cleveland Clinic as an orthopedic surgeon. One is a JAG lawyer, and one is a physical therapist here in town. And I'm just looking at all the things and all the experiences and everything that we've gone through. At the end of the night, we're talking football. We're talking about experiences we had in 2 days. And so that's how football has impacted my life, all the memories and friendships, incredibly successful people. That's what we want to give back to our kids. So, and then number 2 is we want to teach everyone how to win as a team. I think sometimes nowadays it's tough to say whatever it takes to win. That's not what we're about. We're really just trying to teach kids this is the path you have to take to win. I bring it up with the kids often. They play video games, and when they're not winning, what do? They just turn the game off and they leave. And that's so not healthy. You gotta learn how to lose and win, and they're tied together, so we focus a lot on some of these things. Like everyone has a role, and every role matters. Whether you're the guy cheering on the sidelines, or you're the person that we're counting on, whether you're injured, or whether you need to play every single play, that everybody matters. So, all right, next slide. And there's a picture up there of players that change football, right there, number 7. he's putting up the #1 finger. He's running for a touchdown against So in our league championship. Shane Kilfoyle, so he's a tremendous baseball player. As a sophomore, I was on vacation. He texted me, "Hey coach, I don't think you can play football." And that's one of the things, one of the downsides of having such a big program. Is that happens. Kids are pushed constantly to specialize, and that's not what we do in our program. But I had a long talk with him, and I was like, just give it a shot. He didn't really know where he was going to fit. He came out as a junior, and he played a new position at wide receiver, and then he stepped into the role as a starter as a senior. And I just thought that every kid has their story, and that he went from I'm not going to play football to scoring a touchdown on the biggest game you can see. So it's just amazing kid. I love that picture. All right, next slide. All right, so now the pillars of the program, give you the goals. What we talked about, #1, we got to have fun. We absolutely have to have fun. Football is not come to our program, and if we don't win, let's watch film and I'm gonna yell at you. It used to be like that, maybe a little bit back in the day when I was playing. But it's not like that now. Because back when I was playing, and 20, 30 years ago, a guy maybe dropped a pass or gave up a big play. You maybe read one line and used it, and that was it. Now, if somebody gives up a big play, it's instantly on Twitter. It's on the internet. We lost, somebody brought up, we lost the game to Notre Dame. We were 7-0, lost them. One of the final plays of the game. That play, by the time I got home, 3 hours later, that play had already been watched online like 2,000 times. So when you talk about the pressure that these kids feel, it's so different, because they're amateurs. So we really try to have fun. We do pasta dinners where they go to different families' houses every other week. We do competitive periods. When we win, we really kind of shut the locker room and turn the lights off, and they have more fun than I've ever seen high school kids have. It is a blast. Almost sometimes too much fun. But that's #1 for us. #2, family. So we use acronym family, and what we say it stands for is forget about me, I love you. And that ties into there's no place for ego or selfishness on a team, especially a team as big as ours. If you're not doing it with the guy next to you, with the guy on the sideline, you're missing. #3, we really jumped into and studied in 2019, coming off a rough 2018 season, and that's sacrifice for success. We try to teach these guys that no matter what you do in life, in a relationship, there's going to be sacrifice involved, especially in football. Again, it's that, are you sacrificing ego? Your blood, sweat, tears, you're sacrificing time. What are you going to sacrifice to find that success? The next one is attitude effort. It takes 0 talent to give 100% or come up with a great attitude and give 100% effort. Okay, some of the best football players I've ever coached are not very talented, but they give 100% attitude. They light up the room when they walk in, and they just go until I say stop. And that's huge for us. And the last one we probably say every day is our goal, guys, is to get 1% better. As cliche as that sounds, we're just trying to get better at one thing instead of trying to win the state championship every single practice. We're just going 1% better. This guy right here, Eddie Miles, will come up and talk. He's here today. Phenomenal athlete. Great picture too, right? All right. Next slide. Okay, so student athletes. I am beyond proud of these guys with time management skills that they put on display year after year in order to be top students in their classes and come out and be great football players. We have a lot of time. It's almost 3 hours a day. We ask between lifting, film study, practice, and everything else that we're asking about. This was just last year we had a team GPA of 3.72. We had 34 players with over a 4.0 GPA. We had 55 over a 3.5 GPA and 72 over a 3.0. It's just absolutely phenomenal. With that being said, we were, for the 3 out of 4 years, we earned team academic all Ohio, which all of the GPAs get adjusted down. They take out the AP classes, the raw grades, and we were one of the top of the state. And this year specifically, we were top 5, which is, I think, when a lot of people think of football teams, they're not really thinking of, the smartest, right? But we are, and it's amazing that we have this many kids. It makes my job easier because they do so much on the field that it's just amazing. All right, slide. Okay, so our team goals. Our team goals are always number 1, first and foremost, is win the league, win our suburban league. Number 2 is to make the playoffs, and number 3 is to win a championship. So starting with the suburban league, for anybody that doesn't know, our opponents are Stone, Arona, Twinsburg, McCormick, Brexel, and Wadsworth, kind of around the area. We always open up with 3 independent games. So this year we have Solon, we have Euclid, and Warren Harding. Those are games that we get to go out and schedule. That we can pick anybody, and we chose those 3 because they're 3 powerhouse programs traditionally. And then we get into league play, and these are the teams that we play. The schedule rotates every year. We're lucky that this year, we get to end with Stowe, because that is our #1 rival. So this year, the final game will be at our place. We're excited to get some revenge. So winning the league is our main goal. We have 20 league titles in program history. Our program has had 102 seasons, and we've won it 20 times and 9 times in the last 20 years. So we've really found a lot of success with making this a focal point, and it's kind of led into our second goal, which is making the playoffs. Next slide. All right, so making the playoffs, playoffs is relatively new in Ohio OHSAA football, compared to the 102-year history of at least our program. And it started like 40 years ago, and we just commemorated the first Hudson football playoff appearance with the 25th anniversary. Conrad took the team and made it and played state and won on phenomenal fashion. So we recognize them. But since then, we have made the playoffs 10 out of the last 11 years. Not every team makes the playoffs. You really have to have a great team. And you have to play great opponents in order to qualify for the playoffs. We've had 21 playoff wins in school history. And in 2014, 15, 16, we had 3 straight Final Four appearances. And in 16, we were leading at halftime, 2 quarters away from a potential state championship. We've had a lot of success, especially once we get into the playoffs. Next slide. And then the final goal is to win a championship. Hopefully that happens sooner rather than later, but I added these pictures. I don't have all the time in the world to talk about these 3 guys, but again, every player has a story. And these 3 were you go from these 2 guys on the left, Cash Hall for 53, played JV, was behind some fantastic linebackers, came out of senior year, played through a number of injuries, and just had a phenomenal season. Cole Troutman, who's in the middle right there, he scored a touchdown on he blocked punt. He scored it. He again was a JV player as a junior. He grew 6 inches in the offseason, worked his tail off, and then ended up starting for us. And then Colin Pierce had the best season statistically as a receiver in Hudson football history this year. He was a 3-year starter for us. So just 3 very different stories three very good friends. Three guys that'll get together, 30 years from now and talk about that black fun, playing through that injury, making all those catches. I'm sure the stories will get exaggerated, especially with Colin, who's got a tendency to do that. But when we talk about winning championships, this is kind of my mindset. I want to make sure that these guys develop those lifelong relationships, and that's our key. All right, next slide. All right, this is huge for our program. I don't believe in specializing. I think that's absolutely the wrong way to go. You have such a short time to play high school sports. Why you would stop and just play one sport, so specialize and be like, you're the most amazing running back for a football team. The misnomer is that you should just focus on getting really good at running back 12 months out of the year. I think that's so wrong. I think you're missing out on so many opportunities to go. Maybe if you're the best in one sport, maybe you're not the best in the other sport. That's an awesome perspective to have, to learn how to lead from maybe the sideline to the bench and then leading from out front. There's so many amazing coaches at Hudson. Why you would not go and immerse yourself in another program with another great coach is beyond me. So we've pushed guys relentlessly to go play other sports. We had 110 players, 9 through 12 last year. 92 of them play at least one other sport. And I'm on the other 18 to get out there and play another sport. That's just so huge for us. All right, next slide. All right, and then this, I think, is kind of what makes Hudson football so unique. This is our football staff. We are lucky to have such an amazing staff. So many guys that volunteer, so many guys that split contracts, so we can have more than what is typically allocated to a football staff. Every person that is highlighted right there is a football alumni. So they have come back to Hudson football to help our program. It's unlike any other staff in the state. And it's amazing that they want to do that, that I'm able to be a part of it, but it's phenomenal. All right, next slide.
And the Caniglios are part of the 5-time.
Yeah. It's fantastic. All right, so I have the all conference on there. I want to just stick it on the next slide. Brennan Catania, who I'm going to have come up here called BCAT. He had one of the best defensive seasons ever in Hudson history. He had 186 tackles in that season. He averaged, I think it was well over 15 tackles a game, which is just unheard of. And he was voted by the coaches in the Suburban League as a Suburban League Defensive Player of the Year. So I asked him to come up to and talk here in a minute. What's amazing about BCAT is he's not going to play football in college next year. He's going to play lacrosse in college next year. So he's a Division I college athlete. And a lot of people probably told him, hey, you don't want to get hurt in football, right? And he didn't hear it. He came out and said, I'm going to play with my brothers and I'm going to have one of the best seasons ever put together by Hudson football player. All right, BK, you want to come up?
I'm President Connor, also known as BCAT. I started as team captain in middle linebacker football this past year. I'm currently a senior at Hudson High School. Next year, when I got set, I plan to play divisional lacrosse at St. Joseph's, Philadelphia. You've heard of it. And just like some reasons why I love football, the program transformed me not only as a better athlete, but most importantly, that person. I think that's what's important. Coach Gough and staff, all the teams at the highest standard on and off the field every day. Without a doubt, resulted in growth by character for myself and my teammates. Right now, definitely missing Friday nights in fall in the locker room after big wins. And I would do anything to just more teammates. But the culture and brotherhood that's created is something that lasts forever. High school football obviously doesn't last forever, but the bonds and relationships that were formed wearing a football uniform are something that we'll cherish for the rest of our lives. Thank you.
And they're very smart. Okay? You guys know that it's phenomenal. Next up is, these are some of our other first team all around. Shagger Lay, quarterback this year. Go to the next one. He's also in a band, which is great. What's his brother? Carl Pierce, who graduated. Ryan Evans, phenomenal running back, linebacker. LT Proctor, who's a quarterback for us, also graduated. Tommy Ricardo, who's getting looked at by several colleges already, including the sophomore. He is 6'4", 270 pounds. He's just a monster. Glad he's on Martin. And then next up is Aiden Lau. Both BCAT and Lau are also all Ohio. I love putting the Suburban League stuff up here because it's really truly earned. The all Ohio stuff is voted on by media members. This stuff is really voted on by coaches that know those players. But Aiden has started for us for 3 years. He overcame had a broken foot his sophomore season, and I know it was tough for him. He wanted to be out there. He came back his junior season with his running mate, Leitner, who was a running back 2 years ago. Helped propel us into one of the most successful seasons we'd ever had in 2020. When we went undefeated deep into the playoffs. Last scored a touchdown against Hogan, which won the state championship that year. And one of the best teams we've ever faced. And then this year we had a phenomenal season. Week 7, unfortunately, got injured and just had surgery, repaired it, right, all fixed up. And you know, I think when we talk about like adversity and overcoming adversity, those are things that are the injuries that happen, that having to stand on the sidelines, I'll never forget it. When he told me, hey, it's all over. The trainers told me I'm done for the season. Watching him react the next day and basically turn into another coach and support his teammates when he knew he wasn't going to be able to run, you know, the pads again for us. And it was phenomenal watching. So, Amy, you want to come on?
I'm Aiden Lau. I was a former member of the Hudson football team. Next year, I'll continue with my football career at the Air Force Academy. Hudson football always holds a special place in my heart. I love that green bottom. I was taught countless lessons by the best and most supportive coaching staff ever used, and I will be able to utilize that insight I will see throughout the rest of my life. However, the thing that I love most about Hudson football is the friendships that I've built throughout the years and the memories of those friends that I'll be able to cherish forever. Hudson football has undeniably contributed to some of the best moments of my life I have ever grateful to. Thank you.
Yeah.
They both told us they're going for football. What year are you going to go? What else are you going to do in college? You both said they're going for football, but what else?
One is cross.
What's the cross?
Oh, what do you guys say?
Yeah, so I'm going for cross. I mainly picked St. Joseph's because I want to be in the Philadelphia area. I have my grandpa lived there. I want to be in that area for opportunities after college, but I'm going to go to the business school at St. Joseph. I'm not entirely sure what major, but business program is very strong. So.
At the Air Force Academy, I plan on majoring in management, so I feel like that leads to a lot of opportunities out of the academy. With that, that's all I had as a presentation. If anybody else has any questions, by all means. And thank you once again for letting us come and talk and share their programs. Besides coaching these fine young men and several other and last year's team. Speaking of exceptional athletes, and I'm sure you had plenty this last year, but like a couple from 2014 and 2015, since you've been a coach for a few years, what was it like to coach Matt Giddy, a former Minnesota Viking himself? And basically,
He's from Minnesota.
Ben Eaton was one of the best Hudson football players ever to play here. He started as a freshman. He played 4 years. He was in 8th grade. He had a grown man's body. It was unbelievable. I watched him because I was coaching middle school basketball at the time as an 8th grader. He duped me. He bet me. He's like, "Hey, coach, can I have whatever game grade, whatever? If I was Chipotle, you might be Chipotle like a dump." And I'm like, looking at him, he's 6'1" at the time. I was like, yeah, I'll give one try. I reach practice. But he took 2 steps, 2 hands on the ball, dunked it, so I'll take my Chipotle. Now he was phenomenal. He ended up going to Michigan, and he played the last 2 years as a linebacker, as a middle linebacker there. He got drafted by the Minnesota Vikings. I played with his oldest brother, Alex Gideon. I coached Sam Gideon. Sammy, Alex went on to play at Harvard, was the captain of Harvard. He's incredibly successful, phenomenal human being. Sam in the middle one, Sam Gideon, ended up going to Naval Academy. And last I heard about Sam, he was learning how to defuse bombs somewhere. He's doing something great for our country. And then Ben was the youngest boy, and he was incredible. I think the question was, what was it like to coach him? He was a lot like these guys. He showed up. He had so much fun. He put in the work, and he just did amazing things on Friday night. He helped us really kind of turn our program to take it to the next level. But watching him, he was a different breed. He had a chin. And then Mitch Gadani, so he's a quarterback. He holds almost all of our quarterback records. Jagger, I think, broke a couple. Quarterback that's coming back. He ended up at Toledo, but I think with Mitch, he was one of the most elusive and fastest athletes I've ever coached. I was coaching defense at the time. He was a quarterback, so I didn't get to coach him a lot. I always wanted him to come play defense, and finally, during the playoffs that year, 2014, they let him come play some defense, and he had 3 interceptions. And I looked at our offensive coach and our former head coach, Ron Bennett, why didn't you guys listen to me? But he's a phenomenal young man. He's back in the area actually training quarterbacks now. But yeah, some of those teams, the memory is just incredible.
So, Coach, and guys, congratulations on that season. Went to a lot of games this year, got a lot of fun watching. Coach, I want you to just reiterate again, what is Hudson football's number 1 rival?
Our number 1 rival is
Absolutely. And I hope you get the boys up for the game coming up this fall. And I also just wanted to ask, what Coach, as a coach, who do you look up to? Who's your hero? Who do you admire? Who do you kind of emulate?
Yeah, that's a great question. Early on in my coaching career, it was my dad. I grew up, he taught and was a coach every year, just on the road. And I grew up as a ball boy, because he's a basketball coach. And he can't coach Larry Nance.
junior. But not that he's not my hero anymore, but now that I'm the different stage of my life, my kids and my wife is my rock star hero. Like how she handles that she works full time as an executive over a company in Twinsburg and has the 4 kids that I watch her. Especially our littlest one, Poppy, had her during football season. So we had a game in Twinsburg, we won pretty handily. 7 hours later, we were at the hospital and we pulled into the parking garage. This is the 4th baby now, so you think you know what we're doing. We pull into the parking garage, get out of there, it's like 2 a.m. Get out of the car, and she says, it's baby's car out. 15 minutes later, the baby's out. It was, and then 24 hours, we're home. So she is definitely not my hero, who I look up to in the restaurant. What about you guys? Who's your hero?
My name is Dad. But I went up to him world, and he teaches me so much. I just the way he leads one is my family or anything else is I'll admire so much. It's hard to think. I would say my hero is also my dad because he always taught me that nothing good can get to you in sight. Everything you want has to go out of
Actually, I have a question for the players. First of all, everything you presented is exactly what Hudson wants out of its sports programs. Just focus on fun, academics, as well as excellence on the field. But more interesting question. It's always debated about whether the public leagues should have the parochial schools in it. Like we like to say, we only recruit from 1 zip code. Any thoughts on that? And then my question for the players is, you're so fortunate to have about 50 or 60 extra coaches in the stands. I'm just wondering, when everyone's yelling stuff, what do you hear on the field? How does that impact on the field? So either one can start.
So that's my volunteer to be out there or anything. Like I can't hear anything in the stands, like always would talk on the field, so kind of turns off the noise. Yeah, that's what I say for me, because my mom was usually on the sideline taking pictures, so I always get to see her, but besides that, really, once I'm on the other people, it just drowns out the songs, the rest of the players.
I can tell you, I hear just about everything. Yeah, well, I told my wife, she's there with the girls, they don't even sit in the stand anymore. She doesn't like what she hears sometimes, but, yeah, I tell her, whether it's positive or negative, people are shouting things, it means they care. That's what I try to look at it. I'd rather that, than been a couple of things, which is nobody there. Quiet. I love it. I want to rather. It's good. We should have high expectations. That's kind of what we want to be. There was one year, my first year as head coach, I opened it up and said, parents, if you want to come watch some film, we can do it on Sunday afternoon. That lasted 2 weeks. And then the question about public and private. So I believe we're the only closed enrollment school in our suburban league area. So what that means is you have to live in Hudson to go to Hudson. You can't pay tuition. You can't buy like a teacher that lives in Stowe that teaches in Hudson cannot bring somebody their kid to Hudson. They have to live there. That's pretty unique because let's go to Stowe. Stowe is open. So any bordering community can send their child to Kent, Akron, whatever, and send them to Stowe. And that's how a number of different schools are. And then there's that third realm of the private schools or parochial schools like a Walsh, CDCA, the San Ignatius Reserve.
where, players can come from any. And it's tough when you look at a team like Walsh, because they ended up ending our season, and we lost out of those games in the playoffs, and they have kids from all over the area. I used to get fire on like about 15 years ago. Now I don't mind it. It's something, it's a part of the game. We all have to put in the same work. I have friends on the same niche staff, and I talk with them constantly. I'm friends with the head coach of Hoban, and I talk with him constantly. I'm friends with the head coach of Walsh. And I love it. It makes it so much sweeter when we find success because it's such a unique situation. These guys, did you guys play Hudson? Yeah, they played together since they were in like third or fourth grade. And they played together all the way through to now as seniors. That's unique and special in a good way, and sometimes in a bad way, because they know how to push each other's buttons. It's crazy.
Two-part question. Yeah. When you're on one, those are times they hold up, are they just fake or distractions?
Well, that's there.
Secondly, is whatever happened to the huddle?
Yeah. So our offense, we started 3 years ago. We go as fast as they would let us. We don't huddle. It's a simple, right? It's a red or blue. It's a color and a number, red 2. That's the play. That's what we're doing. We're out. Run up to the line and try to go. It allows us to, the philosophy is more plays, means more yards, means more points. And we've had a lot of success with that. Sometimes our defense has to play a little bit more defense because we're on and off the field so quick, but we like that, right? More defense means more tackles. So it's worked for us. We've had 3 of the 4 highest scoring years in the last 4 years. And it's fun. It's like the score touchdown. So, but that's a great question because I always grew up in the huddle, and there is something to the huddle. And you're in there with your boys now, laughing and having fun. And the first part of the question was placards. Okay, is the placards mean? So we hold up these big signs with all sorts of images on it, and do they mean anything? No, they really they hide the signals because some coaching staffs like to take out the binoculars and watch our signals, and so we use the placards, and then they can't see that. So it's very similar to the NFL when they hold the play sheet up like this. Now you can't read my lips. It's kind of. If you would like your picture on it, $50. Yeah, oh yeah.
Great.
So those of you that don't know, we moved, my wife and I moved our son in the middle of his sophomore year to Hudson. And if he was, we were worried about that, moving a high school age kid to picking him up out of one high school and bringing him to another. That Tyler started the football season in Wisconsin and finished it in Hudson. And it was unique and anxiety that didn't have moving high school age kid. We were here, Tyler started right up 1st of October as a sophomore and came home probably right before Halloween. And he said, I'm so happy to be here. And a lot of it had to do with the friends that he made on the football team. When he comes home from school, he drops off his laundry, pulls something out of the refrigerator, and he's off to spend time with 3, 4, 5 guys that he played football with his senior year. So what Coach Gough was talking about is still, it exists 3 years later. And that group is constantly talking or they don't talk. They Snapchat or they text one another. They never talk. So, all right. So we've got the road about right. Coach Gough, will you come up and take it?
Okay. No career issues.
All right. Those 2 school board members. All right. So the winning ticket is 717-287, 717-287. No. Right. Jerry won. Okay. Jerry, big payout today is $8. But the jackpot is $380. There's a black mark over there. I got to hold up right for you. Come on, Jerry. Oh, no. There's your number there. Thank you very much. All right, and for our joke of the week. A priest, a minister, and a rabbit walk into a bar. A priest, a minister, and a rabbit walk into a bar. The rabbit realizes he's a typo.